Japanese, this is my student. I have a Japanese class, but he is my only one student. 私は大地種を受け私は自由胸を開き私は自由心は澄んで Oh dear brother Oh dear sister 共に歩こう Mindfully 私は自由胸を開き私は自由心は澄んで Oh dear brother Oh dear sister 共に歩こう楽しく
Dear friends, dear brother and sister and friend, do you like the children's song? We say the children's song, but this is the song of everyone, and this song really joyful. I like the roses. Shall we sing together with many language?
I like the roses, I like the daffodils, I like the mountains, I like the rolling hills, I like the twinkling stars when the sun goes down. Doobie-doo, 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 I like the rabbits, I like the squirrels too, I like the bluebirds, I like the roaming crows, I like all animals like me. Doobie-doo, 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 I like the roses, I like the daffodils, I like the mountains, I like the rolling hills, I like the twinkling stars when the sun goes down. Doobie-doo, 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 I like the rabbits, I like the squirrels too, I like the bluebirds, I like the roaming crows, I like all animals like me. Doobie-doo, Ku suka mawar, dan buka teropeng. Ku suka gunung, dan bukit berlembang. Ku suka bintang, surya terbenam. Doobie-doo, 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 ku suka kelinci, dan tupai di pohon. Ku suka burung dan rusa di hutan, semua binatang teman-temanku. Doobie-doo, Chinese. 我爱玫瑰，我爱水仙花，我爱高山，绵绵起伏，我爱满天繁星，当太阳回家。Doobie-doo, doobie-doo, doobie-doo, doobie-doo,
Japanese.
Love
questions? Normally we have about 15 minutes for the children and then about 20 minutes for students. We have the question first and then will be open for everyone. Is the children here? Children program? How about the teen? Teenager? Are you here somewhere? I think they are somewhere there. Oh, you are all in the back. All right. If you understand English, please come up here in front. If you need translation, I think we also have translation here, so you just bring the earphone up here. Các thầy các sư cô chăm sóc tim đâu rồi? So courageous. You know, question and answer in Zen circle, in Zen tradition, is like joining the battle, the Zen battle. So you are so courageous. Yeah, so just sit and enjoy this beautiful moment. Relax. Welcome on board. Yeah. So you have your ally. Breathing like a Jedi, huh? So you can grab a chair and sit next to her. We are on the soccer field together. And they are very good. Dear Sangha, normally children and teenagers have a very good question. And even sometimes they have more good question than the adults. And we normally like to have the young people have questions. Sometimes they ask like, why do you shave your head? You know? Someone asked our teacher, why is the moon hanging on the sky? Is it okay? Okay. Wherever you feel comfortable. So dear Sangha, this morning we have a session of question and answer, and normally we like to have a question from here, from the heart, yeah? Not from here. So question from the heart, not from the head. Okay? Because the head is always full of intellectual. The question doesn't have anything to do with our life, our joy, happiness, our difficulties and suffering, challenges. Because our time is quite limited, so we are encouraged to ask questions from the heart. The kind of question that has been bothering us for a while. Yeah. Maybe a week or 2 weeks or a month or a year or years. Yeah. And it's still bothering us, and we don't know yet how to deal with it, how to get out of it. So a question like that can benefit a lot of people, not only for us, but for many other people as well. Sometimes a good question can help transform a lot of people. So good question, good answer. And good question doesn't have to be very long. If you stand here and you ask a question for half an hour, then it's going to be very difficult for us. Right? So make it short, precise, and clear. Yeah, make your point. So the format is we have a direct question. So if those who have already made a question in your mind, you can come up here and sit whether on this side or that side, and there are also translation earphone ready. If you feel shy, you don't want the Sangha to know you ask a question, but you want to ask a question, then you can write it down on a piece of paper and send it to us, and we can read it out loud. Let us enjoy this wonderful moment. This is a happy moment, and listen to three sounds of that. And aware that we are on the second day of the second last day of 2019. And it's beautiful to have this awareness. And this day will be a very deep, reflective day, so that next year we want to start our new year. New me, new year. If the year is new, but we are old still, then the year is not new. So new me, new year. So let us enjoy the sound of the bell. Enjoy our new breath. Yeah. Breathe in. I know that I'm still alive in this wonderful moment. Breathe out. I smile to life. So this is on my left, Sister Lương Nghiêm. Sister Lương Nghiêm. And I am Brother Pháp Niệm. Sister adornment with goodness. And me is Brother Mindfulness. So if you see me, you will be stressed. All right. So would you like to have first question? Yeah. Come on.
Why did this place get called Plum Village? Why not like Apple Village or...
Why not Mango Village?
I think that people like to call the name that you like. You can call Apple Hamlet, Apple Village. But there's the story that original that our teacher established a new center in France, and we planted plums. And when so we call Plum Village. So they planted 1,250 plum trees. So after we harvested, we pack and we sell, and we take that money to sponsor poor children in Vietnam. So that's why we call Plum Village. And because it's an original root temple in France, we call it Plum Village. Before, I just thought that Plum Village only happened in France. But right now it's in America, in Hong Kong, Australia, Thailand, Germany. So we call Plum Village Germany, Plum Village France, Plum Village Thailand. It's just like a different location. So this is the story.
Like Starbucks.
Everybody loves Starbucks.
And if you like, you can go there in the summer and you can enjoy organic plum. And one more thing is actually the tree, most of them are planted by children all over the world, because they want to create this awareness of love and compassion for the children. So we ask the children to, each of them can plant 1 or 2 trees to help the hungry children in Vietnam. Yeah. So most of them are planted by the children all over. So maybe you can plant a mango tree.
My question is not about like Buddhist or something or meditation about this something. It's just going on in my head. It's like, how do you deal with exams? Like the exam stress or exam?
How do you deal with exam stress? Being a monk. Monks and nuns are free from exams. We study a lot, but we don't have exams.
But don't worry, be a monk also be stressful.
actually, the best to stay from stress from exam is the time that you pay attention on study every day, right? So you don't wait until the last minute. Right? If you wait for the last minute and then the exam comes, you feel that you don't know anything. But when you, every day you go to class and you study well, you understand what the teacher teach you, and then once you already understand and you know you are doing well every day in school, then exam is just the summary of everything. So since you already know everything, then exam you just rehearse a little bit before the exam. But if you are lazy, you don't pay attention to school, you don't do well homework, and try, especially think that you don't understand, but you think that you understand, that is dangerous. So if you don't understand, you have to make sure that you understand what the teacher is really teaching you. And then when the exam comes, then you just relax and you can do well. This is the basic principle. Sorry. So this is going according correctly to the Buddha teaching. Take care of the present moment, right? And the future will be take care. So take care of the moment that you are learning in class, at home, then the exam will be good. So you don't have to wait until the exam comes and then you worry for the exam. Then that will be stressful. Okay?
Okay, so in this moment of my life, I'm in a place in which I have to take big choices. I'm graduating from school, and I have to decide what I'm gonna do after I graduate. And I have a lot of university options and everything. So my question is, when you have to choose, which do you have any tips in which how can you make sure you're choosing the best things for you, or how can you balance, or what should you balance when you and give importance to when you choose something?
At the moment, my niece studying art in university in Sydney, and I asked her that how's your study, and she said that it's okay. I said, it's not heavy for you, and she said I liked it. This year is her first year in university. And she said, oh, it's just like very light. And the thing is, because she liked it a lot. Last year she got enough marks to get into law, but she said she didn't like it. So she chose art instead, because she's a very good drawer and painter. So she chose that. So she's told me that I want to do something for my life that I like it. I don't like to do something for my parents, because my parents want me to do a doctor or a lawyer, but I don't like it. So I want to be an artist. So she chose that, of course, that to be a lawyer or a doctor, you can earn a lot of money. But if you do a job for in a daily life and that you don't like, it's just a very boring life. So I think that for everyone, you choose. You can, if you want to choose a career for yourself, you can choose the one that you really love. So before, I loved to do the teacher. So after the time that I choose my major, I said I want to do education, but my teacher said, no, your English not good. So you choose something that you use the machines more or the numbers more. So I choose computer science. But but it turned out that I have to use a lot of text also. I didn't like that. It doesn't mean that I don't like the English. You have to learn English a lot because my English was not good. But the thing is, you have to deal with the machines so much, and everybody loves, using the machine, especially men. They love to do IT. But I graduated in IT, but I didn't like it. So I chose to be a nun instead. So I think that to do something that, because your career is mean that you have to do it day by day, month by month and year by year, something. You have to do something that you really like. This is your life. So I think that it's only you that can choose what you really like for your life to do. So otherwise, even a job that you can earn a lot of money, but it's just so stressful and you don't like it. It means that you can vary your life here. So I encourage you to choose the course or degree that you really love to do and that you're good at. So when you're good at something, you do it for fun, you do it with joy and happiness. It's not a burden. So you do something that you really like. So like the brothers and sisters here, we live here, and even though that we had rules and stuff, and not many people like it, but because we loved it, so it becomes very light and very, this becomes our life. So I hope that you can, from your heart, you have some time to sit still and find out what do you really good at and love to do for your life. So choose that.
My question is, why do you have like so many letters like those around?
The calligraphy.
The calligraphy only, or the sentence also? Both.
Let me see. It's like you want to speak and you have a sign, and the sign will tell you what to do. Okay? So this is something like that. It's called the words of inspiration, and reminding us to live our life, like breathe and smile. Right? So you see that words breathe and smile. Then it reminds you to take a moment, take a pause, and then just enjoy your breath, and then enjoy the smile. Because people now are not capable of smiling. They are capable of making a lot of money, but not able to smile. So smiling is not easy. But if you are able to do that, you can be a happy person. Or like this, the way out is in, right? So now, human beings are facing climate change, which is a very big problem of mankind. But everybody is like going out there looking for solution. But we don't know that the solution can be found within us when we are able to transform our anger, our fear, our worries, our violence inside, our craving, then we will be able to save the world. Right? If you are or like you are craving to eat a lot of meat, then people have to cut down many forests in order to grow to big animals for meat. And when the trees are being destroyed, then the planet become very hot. And even the cow dungs or animal dungs, they can also create a big issue of making the ozone layer become thicker. So that's why it captures the heat on the Earth's surface. That's why the climate should become abnormal. So not only carbon dioxide that people drive the car, carbon dioxide that cause the ozone layer become thick, but the main cause is from the cow dungs. Cow dungs produce a kind of methane substance, which is more damaging than the carbon dioxide. So if you are craving to eat if human beings are craving to eat a lot of meat, then we are not able to solve the problem. So we have to learn how to take a good diet for ourselves. So transforming the seed of craving for meat, we can shift to more in vegetarian. So in order to save the environment and the climate change, we have to be able to go home, go inside, take care of the craving, energy within, right? And also cultivate compassion and love within. Because only with compassion and love we will be able to save our planet. So that is one aspect. So, and then if you have fear inside, or you have loneliness inside, then you will consume a lot. Right? You consume in order to forget the feeling of loneliness and fear. And that is why you can also damage life, yourself, and the environment, and the society. So the way out is in, is mean. If you want to solve the problem out there, you need to learn to go home, breathe, smile, and take care of your emotion. Right? Did you learn how to take care of your anger yet? Good. Your emotions. So I think children, you can do a lot of things to help to make the world a better place. Right?
So do you want to do one of them by yourself?
We can offer you one. Would you like?
Now you can do it by yourself, whenever you get angry, you can do, something like that and put on your study desk and you write the big words, be still, everything will be okay. So you can do it yourself. It's just a reminder, just, stop and take care of yourself. All the sides.
Where are you coming from? Colombia. Wow. You're from Colombia? Yeah. So we can offer you a calligraphy. Calligraphy. This is written by our master. Yeah. But we have the one who do his continuation book. Yeah, he can write calligraphy as well. Yeah. So let us work together, right? To make our world become a better place. And keep that in mind. Yeah? Keep that love and aspiration in mind. It will make you a wonderful person.
Xin chào. I have a question, I think. Okay. For a lot of teenagers like Tom here, I think this generation of teenagers has a lot to think about. So they're always constantly thinking, and I'm always just thinking about my future and my choices, and like Tom is as well. And I always find it hard to try to stop thinking just for a moment, so that my mind can rest, even when I try to meditate. So my question is, how can I empty my mind rather than sleeping? How do I do that?
Instead of what?
Instead of sleeping, because when you sleep, you don't really think about anything. Instead of So is there another way? I know meditating is a way, but I find it hard to empty my mind because.
You cannot empty your mind. Yeah. Because if you empty your mind, you will not be able to function. Right? It's like if you empty the electricity, then the laptop will not function. So your mind and your body are together. One of the techniques is train yourself with mindful breathing. So when you pay attention, whenever the thinking is happening, you don't learn how, you don't suppress, you don't try to get rid of your thinking. You don't run away. You just recognize there is a thinking is happening. But because it's so strong, it makes you not able to think clear. So the first thing the Buddha taught is go back to your breathing and pay attention to your breath in and out. So the breathing is one of the tools that can help you learning how to stop to calm your thinking down, right? Your thinking mind. When you say to stop thinking, it doesn't mean that you are suppressing your thinking, but you learn how to pay attention to something else. Then suddenly your thinking will slowly sink down. So instead of, and then you can do that mindful breathing practice everywhere. Even you are in bed, or you are in the bathroom, you are on a bus or on a train. Everywhere you are, the breathing is there with you. Okay? So you learn how to rest yourself in the breathing. This is one of the ways to preserve your energy, because when you think too much, then it will drain your energy away. And that is why you get exhausted. And there are people nowadays, they think too much and they are not able to stop, and that's why it leads to mental illness. But breathing is one. Yeah. So when you play basketball, you can rest your mind on the ball. Right? When you hold a ball with your hand, and you become the ball, you become one with the moment that you are playing the ball, the basketball. Then you are free from thinking, right? Yeah. So mindfulness can be practiced when you are playing basketball. When you are doing computers, you can also practice mindfulness in doing a computer. Right? So that is why in Bangladesh we advise people to store a sound of the bell in the laptop. So every 15 minutes it will ring the sound of the bell, and you learn how to stop working on the computer, and you go back to your in-breath and out-breath, and relax your body. Okay? You can wake up, when you wake up and you fold the blanket before you do something else, anything else, and you do that with 100%. Breathing in, I know I am folding a blanket. Breathing out, I feel the joy of doing this thing. Okay? So you become aware of what you are doing in that moment, and then you train yourself bit by bit like that. Then you will be expert on dealing with your thinking mind. Yeah. But when you are brushing your teeth, okay, you can learn how to rest your mind on the act of brushing your teeth. So instead of hurry, when you move your hand, brushing your teeth, and then you think of something else, that is not meditation. Right? Meditation is you do one thing at a time. So when you brush your teeth, and then your mind, your body, your whole being is there with the act of brushing your teeth. Then you are stopping and resting on that act of brushing your teeth, and then you enjoy that moment of brushing your teeth, right? Because in that bathroom, right, there are so many conditions of happiness and joy. You have the waters, you have the toothbrush, you have the toothpaste, you have your teeth to brush. Even though you are young, because thinking of when you are about 18 years old, right, you have no more teeth to brush. You only need to take it out and wash and put it back. So it's wonderful to have organic teeth to brush. So you can enjoy the meal better. Right? So all this moment can be a moment of joy and happiness. And then you can enjoy that moment, and you can be free from thinking. Because if you still thinking for something else out of the bathroom, you're still in the bathroom anyway. And you have to do your toothbrush, rinsing some more, washing your face. Right? So why not take that moment into a meditative moment? So meditation does not mean you sit for hours in the meditation hall or the Buddha hall to practice. It can be practiced anywhere at any time. So when I play football, I also practice mindfulness playing football. Even I have to run really fast. Yeah. So mindfulness doesn't mean that you have to be slow or you have to be fast. When you are fast, you know that you are fast. When you are slow, you know that you are slow. But doing things slowly, living our life a little bit slower, in a slower pace, they help us to feel life better, to enjoy our life better. Because people now are living in a hurry, they always run to the future. And the future, you know what it means? The cemetery. People are running to the cemetery and they don't know. If you run more and more and more, you end up in a cemetery earlier. And people are dying at an early age because of stress, tension, and physical pain. And physical pain is coming from the seed of the energy of the habit way of living in a stressful way, worry, fear, and so on. Meditation does not mean you have to suppress your thinking. Allow your thinking to be the way it is. You only need to pay attention to your breath and train yourself slowly like a Jedi. A Jedi, he needs to be calm and still in order to know what is going on around him, even inside him, and the enemy. So do everything, do it well, and do one thing at a time. So when you study, you study. You don't think of the basketball game. Okay? And then when you are watching the basketball game, you are one with the basketball game. That is meditation. So be one with the thing you are in that moment. And then slowly you will be able to master your thinking. But thinking is not bad. There are good thinking. Thinking that makes you feel more compassion, more loving, more peace. The kind of thinking that you bring joy and happiness to yourself and to other people, and to also other species at the same time. But thinking that can damage life, you don't want to think that way. So thinking that are positive, there are good thinking, but there are also damage thinking to your body, your mind, and to life. Okay? So I think one of the things is to learn how to do belly breathing. So when you lie down, or sometime a day, you find a moment, maybe 2 minutes per day, then you can sit down somewhere, quiet, and just enjoy your mindful breathing. 2 minutes per day is not a lot, but if you are able to do it every day, it can be a lot. That's why our master say, if you are so busy, please do me 1 minute meditation per day. So 1 minute meditation means you take a minute and just go back to your mindful breathing, enjoy that moment, 1 minute of mindful breathing, and it will change your life. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for our wonderful teams.
Thank you for all your sharings. I would like to ask, how do you deal with the anger and anxiety about climate change, especially when it comes to like the governments in the world, like our own government and the other governments that are not doing enough? For example, the Amazon forest was burning, and the Brazilian president was kind of like making things worse, and not addressing the problem. And as well as like in my own country, in Singapore, the government was proposing that they spend a lot of money to build a seawall around the country to block out the rising sea levels, but it is not addressing the problem at hand, and they are not doing enough. And as us, we are the citizens, we're not the people in power, and we also have anxiety, like what's going to happen to us, what's going to happen to our future generations.
I think that I heard this question many times. And there's a lot of people try to help, try to reduce, or try to stop contributing to climate change. And somehow, for my personal experience, that we cannot blame for the government. 20 years ago, we used less air conditioning. We use less plastic bags. We use we cut the forest less. Just like when I went to Indonesia, in Bali, they try to use the bamboo straw or paper straw, and this is a rule in Bali. But in Jakarta, my friend told me that people pay for it, so they want to use a plastic one. So I think that you cannot blame for anybody, or especially for the government. The thing is how you can educate people use plastic things less. Or, you know, before we don't have so many cars. Right now, in even a poor country, they have cars also. So all the heat and all the hot air from the aircon out to the environment make things change. So the accumulation of each citizen, make things, like that. So we have to ask our responsibility for individual citizens, that if we can stop using too much plastics, something that it can not compose. For example, in Christmas season, after Christmas Day, there's a lot of trash. And also a lot of pets or animals been abandoned also. Because they bought a lot of things. And I could not imagine that how many malls, shopping malls in one country that manifest. So the more you consume, so the more factories to produce all the things. And when you consume too much, you have to produce so much trash. And if you look around, it's not only climate change. All the rivers, the oceans, they suffer from plastics also. And for the pollution in the air. So this kind of thing that I think that everyone's responsibility. So the thing is, how can we help each other to make this planet cooler? Because recently in Sydney, the bushfire, the area that we had bushfire is in the total in the last 3 years. So it's fire everywhere now. It's only the heat from the also people burn also. Deliberately burn things so they will cause bushfire. So if even they have a very good system to protect the environment, but if each of us not responsible for what we consume, what we use, there's nothing changed. So I think that we have the protest or people, fight for climate change in the city, but they end up very disappointed. They suffer a lot because things doesn't change. So how can you help them? I think that's we try our best to contribute our part to the world, and we can help friends to give rise to the awareness how we consume things, how we can use things, and can save the planet. Especially in Vietnam, in a lot of countries, they don't know how to deal with trash, so they dump into the ocean, and or they bury on the Mother Earth. And I have a friend, and he's afraid of his child's future, because the way we use too much. Everyone here, if you think back 20 years ago, the weather is cooler, the weather is less polluted. But right now, it's happening everywhere, that trash and things like that. So the only way that, from my experience and my opinion, that we can remind each other not to trash too much and to use so much things. So mindful consumption is so important. We just go to shopping mall and buy things that we rarely need, but because we want, because it's on sale. So we buy it, and then we litter. It's not only us concerned, but I think that right now, if people with clear awareness, it becomes everybody's concern and fear for our younger generation's future. So I hope that every one of us can to the retreat to give rise to awareness how we live our life. It will help a lot. So I have a question here that her parents forced her to eat meat, but she didn't. She doesn't like it. She feels sick when she eats meat. Just like my brother said, that when you eat meat a lot, they have to have a place to feed the animals. So that's why the forest been cut down, become the grass, fields to feed the animals. And all the dungs, and then they dump into the rivers. So the river become undrinkable. Also, these are all kind of things. And it will end up as how to do this and do that. For me, that if we help each other, remind each other that how we can to make this planet last longer. It's more beautiful.
I think one of the things I think we have to remember is not to become a victim of the situation. That is why the way out is in. Because when you become a victim of the situation, then you will be occupied with anger, frustration, hopeless, despair, and then you will not be able to do anything. So the first thing that we all have to bear in mind, that we need to continue to cultivate peace and solidity within ourselves. And continue to have a deep look into the situation, to have a clear understanding about it. And then we personally, individually, what can I do? How can I live my life? So instead of looking out there and then demanding people, you have to do this, why don't you do that? Yeah. First of all, you have to learn what can I do? Small thing. So like in Vietnam, just like this year they become a national movement of using organic straw for drinking. So they use bamboo straw or straw made by a kind of water, a kind of powder, a kind of powder like bột xăng dây Vietnamese. So now become a national, people are using this. So it's an awakening movement act. So I think there are things that we can list down, what can I do? And also, how can I inspire people to do it? Yeah. So instead of sit there and get angry about the government, these people, that people, you will destroy yourself with this kind of thinking and anger and despair. And then when you are able to do that, you can learn how to inspire people. Instead of sit there and wait for the government. And then when the collective is higher, it will make a change in the government. So I think the way out is, our teachers said, we have to learn how to live simply. Simple living is the way out. So we don't need to have a big house. We don't need to have a fancy car. Because fancy car, you need more gas. We don't have to have a lot of gifts in Christmas Day. Yeah, one gift is enough. And make it organic, if possible. Like monks and nuns, we don't have many clothes, only 3 robes. And we are still happy with it. And only one color, brown. So why do you have a lot of things in your shelf? And for many years, it just sit in the shelf and never used. Right? So just knowing enough. And be beautiful in your own way. You don't have to be decorate yourself with fancy clothes, with fancy cosmetics, with fancy this and that. But if you are a happy person, a joyful person, if you are if you are embodied with love and compassion and peace, you are beautiful. So I think this is a question, this is awareness for all of us, not only you, but for monks and nuns also. So I think collectively we have to create a collective awakening, and this is what we are today. We are here all together to create this collective awakening. So one Buddha is not enough. We need to have many Buddha and Buddhas to make the change. But don't be dogmatic, because we are trying to make the world better. Don't come to the perfectionism. Don't think that we have to change everything for us in order to be happy. Everything is just in a process of transformation. So if you are putting a goal that everything, climate change should be disappeared in order for me to be happy, that is a naive dream, and you can be killed with that kind of thinking. So we all put ourselves in a position of contributing ourselves into the process of transformation and healing, so that to make our world a better place. In that way, you will have more energy for living and for helping the society to move into a more beautiful direction. Otherwise, you will become the victim of the situation, and you will suffer a lot, and you will not do anything when you suffer. Okay?
こんにちは。日本から来ました。
こんにちは。I'm from Japan.
ブラザーサンライトの妹です。
And I'm a brother Sunlight's sister, younger sister.
彼が2年前にここで出家をして、その出家式に、参加して以来初めてタイランドのプラムベンチに来ました、今回。
And when he became a monastic 2 years ago and had his ordination ceremony, that was the last time I came to Tai Plum Village, so it's been 2 years since I came last.
2日前に初めて今回のアクティビティに参加したんですけれども、歩く瞑想で、このタイランドの大地を歩き始めた時にとっても寂しい気持ちになりました。
And I joined the retreat 2 days ago, and while I was doing walking meditation, I felt very sad.
どうしてこんな寂しい気持ちが湧き出てくるのかなと思って、自分自身の心に問いかけました。
And I was asking my heart, why do I feel so sad doing walking meditation here?
その時、兄はここにいるんだなと、なんか初めて実感したというか、遠くに住んでいるんだなと。
And I realized realized that my sadness comes from how my brother lives so far now, and it was the first time I really felt that experience of how far my brother lives.
日本で、私たちの両親は84歳で、まだ元気ですけれども、日々年老いてきています。
And in Japan, our parents are 84 years old and they're getting older each year.
特に母親は毎日、サンライトはいつ帰ってくるのと私に毎日問いかけます。
And my mother asks me every day, when is sunlight coming back home?
私は兄がここでとても、プラクティスを積んでハッピーな毎日を過ごしているのは分かっているんですけれども、年老いた両親との間でとても引き裂かれます。
And I know that Brother Sunlight is having a wonderful practice here and enjoying his time, but listening to my parents, my heart feels quite torn.
モナスティックの家族としてどうやって支えたらいいか、そして、私たちの年老いた両親に何て言ってあげたらいいかアドバイスをいただきたいです。
So as a family that has a member who's a monastic, I'd like to ask, how do I support the family and the practice, and what do I tell the parents?
This is a classic question. Because the monks and nuns here also in that situation. Like my father now is 91. Her father is 96. My father is in Vietnam, her father is in Australia. And same with other monks and nuns here, most of them. So in Plum Village, the good news is that from time to time, we allow monks and nuns to go home and be with their family, with their parents. For our monastics who have their parents still their health in still good condition, then they are also invited. They are invited here for a certain time, a week or 2 weeks retreats. And thanks to them, that the parents has a chance to encounter the Dharma, the Sangha, and enjoy the practice. Normally, when we are home with our parents, we share to them what we do, and we share to them our life here, and how much that we can do to help people to suffer less. And the parents see that is our son and daughter life. It's meaningful, and then we share with them that they can be part of our life, because in their heart, they also have the deep desire to do something good for life, for the people, and so on. So when they see that, then they feel holy. They feel good for their son or daughter, but also they also feel that they are part of the work of helping people to suffer less. So when we share that things, then they will no longer feel that why they're not here. But then you can say that, oh, my brother, your son is doing that. I'm here to take care of you. And then from time to time, my brother or your son will come back to spend time with you. And then there are times that need more care, more love, more care for our parents, then we spend more time with them. Like my mother, when she was sick, I was allowed by the Sangha to go back sometime like for a month. And then my sister also, and she stayed there longer than me to take care of my mom and my dad. Yeah. And my mom passed away this year. So in other traditions, sometimes they are more strict. You are not allowed to go home frequently to take care. But in our Sangha, it depends on the situation. That the Sangha will make arrangement for our brother and sister to go home and to take care of their parents, especially when they are sick. Yeah. So everything is possible. So I think Brother Nhật Quang, when he's here, he's doing, he's enjoying his practice, but he also helping a lot of people, especially the Japanese who are coming here. And I think that one day, I don't know how soon it is, but one day I think we might have a center in Japan. Yeah? And Nhật Quang will go there, go home and serve the country. Yeah? So actually you are not lost in your brother or your parent lost your son, but he is going far in order to go back. Okay? In Vietnamese we call Lisa the Japan. So I think that I always talk with Brother Nhật Quang that you have a deep mission. You have a deep mission. In order later on maybe you help Japanese Buddhism to restore the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni order in Japan, because that's already lost. Yeah. So, and Brother Nhật Quang was very happy. So if you talk with your parents, Brother Nhật Quang is having his mission, and he's practicing in order to later on he go back and help the people in Japan to suffer less. Because people in Japan, they also suffer a lot. Young people are committing suicide. The rate is very high. One of the second or the third in the world. So becoming a monk or nun, we are aware of that. We want to do something to help people who suffer less. And Brother Nhật Quang is doing that. So just share that with your parents. And then when Brother Nhật Quang go home, he also share his life as a monastic here. And then your parents understand. And when you really need Brother Nhật Quang, longer time to take care of your parents, it is possible. And one more thing is Brother Yadwan is not a president of a company. If he's in Japan and he's a president of a company, he will have no time to take care of the parents. He become very busy. So the monks and nuns, we have that kind of freedom. Yeah. So if I am an elder brother, but I need to take care of my mom, then our brother and sister will take care of this place. Okay.
I think a feeling of a sister who have to face with the parents every day of asking, where is my son? That is very horrible. It is very painful. I couldn't understand that. This happened to me the same to my mother. So she asked my sister every day, where's her youngest girl? Because I'm the youngest girl in her family. So what I did is I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter that according to my aspiration, what I have done to make people happy and fulfilled my vow and my aspiration. Show my parents' pictures to see that, oh, whatever I do, I always think of my parents. So sometimes your parents need some proof that you're doing well. So I hope that Brother Nhật can write a letter more. Because somehow, last time I came back home to take care of my father, I looked into the cabinet of my parents' cabinets. I realized that my parents still keep all the letters I wrote 20 years ago, even 21 years ago. So it means that to live apart from your loved ones is hard. But it doesn't mean that they don't agree. They just miss you so much. So my mom told me that, can you stay home? I said, yes. But I will not have friends who do the same life, with me. So finally she said that you should go. Because life at home is very painful. So I'm happy that you can choose the life that you wish for. So somehow that Brother Nhật Quang, do more effort to really comfort his sisters at least, because she has to cover everything for you at home. To have to bear with all the question every day is hard. Especially, you love your brother so much, your parents too much. So I can feel her pain, her sadness. So the thing is, it's not from his sisters, but it's from Brother Nhật Quang. And make his parents understand that this is his life. And also always there for his sister. But believe me, time will make things change. When we do things well, when practice well, becomes more solid. And believe me, when in the last minute of our parents' life, they will think of us more than anyone. So last month, my father is just like between life and death because he's so old. So the person that he thought of is me. Because when you are monastic, you is a source of peace to them. And I kept asking him that, are you afraid of death? And he said no. And my father never gone or never been in the monastery or a temple before, because my family is not a Buddhist family. So maybe when we practice and we have faith in our path, we can transmit that energy to our parents. And before I left home, I transmitted the 5 MT of 5 mindfulness trainings to my father. So he said that it's a time for me to receive it. So somehow you need to be patient. To go on a good path, the right path is not easy. So you need a lot of time and patience that you have in our daily life. We have to do it well. And I believe that Brother Nikwang will make it, because I always admired him, the way he helped Japanese group and even one friend. You know, he's full of energy and a goodwill to help. So you have to have faith. And somehow, you know, maybe in this retreat, a few days, Brother Nikwang should spend more time with his sister to comfort her. Because if his sister is not at home, he won't be here. So it's some kind of make things understandable, make people understandable, even our parents. So they will accept it. So love and patience and time will make it work. And you have a practice. You should be happy for him. You should be proud of him. So he's doing very well here.
就是我感觉我们的弱点就是各自为政、很自私。就是我们会看到3年以后，日本就是维称的禅法会发展得很好，越南也会发展得很好。3年以后，我的忧郁还是这个样子。我来了5年了，我3年可能还是这个样子，这个样子。
When he see the Japanese Sangha and Vietnam Sangha, he admired that the Sangha is so strong and united together. So he had the concern and worry about Chinese Sangha. He doesn't complain about others. He just say himself. He has been here for 3 years, and he still feel like he's not doing enough for the Sangha and not practicing enough.
Don't be fooled by the appearance. Don't be fooled by the appearance. Sometimes we look over there and we think that, oh, the grass over there is greener. And Like we look at the Japanese Sangha or the Vietnamese Sangha and you think they are strong. Yeah? They also have difficulties and challenges. But they are doing the best, yeah, in order to build Sangha. And because they are in a different environment, yeah, so they can be a little bit different things. And you are in China, it's also a different environment. Like Vietnam, they also have a more kind of similar to China situation. So I think what you have done for the Sangha in China is already wonderful. So you just continue to build a Sangha in a very difficult environment. I understand how difficult it is. So I think when you are in a more difficult, more challenging environment, it makes you become more courageous, more patient, but you have to also very skillful in building the Sangha. Like in Vietnam, if you gather in group, yeah, the police will keep an eye on you. So you have to be skillful, but you do have that courageous in order to continue to build the Sangha in a difficult situation like that. I heard that our Chinese group would like to have a retreat here for just Chinese people. Yeah. And I think it might be a good idea. Yeah. Because when you draw people here, then you get more people involved in practice, then it's easier to build a Sangha at home. Right now it's kind of a little bit here and there. But there are people who have a lot of courageous. Yeah. Like you, like Satir, like the whole group here. You see, already I have a big group, and you have a nun, 2 nuns over there. 1, 2, 2. And then you slowly get more nuns. No, you get more. So you already have 2 nuns. Only Japanese only have 1 monk. But because we are going to Japan, it's easier, as the nice thing. They have a little more support than you are in China. Yeah. So that's why they are more in a democratic country. Yeah. So the environment is easier than you. So they can practice easily. So don't just look over there and then value yourself. Oh, they are stronger than my Sangha. That make you feel you are not good enough. Yeah. But you are already wonderful as the way you are. Just keep the light, keep the fire burning, and do the best you can. Okay.